Hello and welcome to the BooBoo-Racing channel. We're at Monza in Italy for the second round of the FIA Gran Turismo series. This is the manufacturer series and McLaren is the team I've chose for the entire season. This race is the final chance to score some good points for this second round at the Italian venue. I'll start my first attempt at a flying lap. We just miss out on the slipstream of a quick French driver though. The French superstar does not make many mistakes through the first two sectors of the lap, and this causes me to make too many mistakes, pushing too hard to get in that vital slipstream for sector 3. And to top the pressure up a little bit more, we have just scraped in as the number 20 entry for a top split race. We stay with it though, and we try to build some rhythm to go for a second lap on the same tyres. The Flying Frenchman beats us by nearly 1 second. And we go for a second lap as he teleports himself back to the pits to have another run. We run a little wide as we come out of the chicane, and sector 1's decent and we're 1.5 tenths up on our previous lap. I can feel everything's running more in tune, and as we head up to Ascari we'll find out what our profits are. Purple and 4 tenths up on my previous lap through sector 2. I'll get too greedy going through Ascari and we lose a little time. It's just a little though, and it's just a parabolica now to get right for a very good lap. I even mess that up a little, but we get a decent time of a 156.313. It's second at the time and 4th by the end of qualifying. The top 14 are covered by just half a second. The Corvette, Mustang and Mazda occupy the first 3 positions, with BooBoo and his McLaren in 4th. We have a Lexus, Hyundai and Porsche in the 5th, 6th and 7th positions. We've got a Nissan in 8th, and this is going to prove to be one of my toughest races, with even more manufacturers further back, including the likes of Ferrari, Aston Martin, Citroen and Subaru. So getting the race underway with a rolling start as always in the manufacturer series, we head off down into turn 1. In the first chicane at Monza, it is always a tense moment, as I'm sure most of you who have played the game would have been taken out at some point. bit cautious and we survived. So it's on with the race now, and the main objective is to stay with the top 3 ahead and not let them get away. Then this happens. I could not make a more costly mistake at such a more important time, especially to get away with it as well. The problem is now, that mistake has cost me the slipstream to the trio ahead, and the group behind are now just following in my air while I'm hitting dirty air. So their pace is up to a second a lap quicker with just a slipstream, especially coming through the sector 3 and the start of the lap, sector 1. Over a lap later, and starting to find my rhythm, we gained around half a second on the lead group, and the Spanish driver played a nice part, and we started creeping away from the group behind. Instead of believing in my pace and pushing me along the pit straight, the Spanish driver makes his move, and I'm happy to follow him, to be honest. Hopefully we can work together to catch the leading trio and pull away from the cars behind. Moving forward, I want to show you now what our class is working together in racing. I see little progress we have made, so I bumped the Spanish driver a little to get that little extra. I was unsure if we would receive a penalty, so I do it in a way where I softly tap them. It seems to help because you then get a consistent smooth bump instead of like a whiplash style. We're on lap 5 now, and the top 5 are covered by less than a second. The leaders tightly squeeze through the first chicane, and this is giving the cars behind the chance to catch up with us. We never got off to a good start to this race, and the chicane coming up causes me a problem once again. This time we lose too much time to the leaders and become a sitting duck for the predators behind. This is becoming frustrating for me, as I know I can and should be driving better than this. I'm just making too many mistakes in this race. Not thinking clearly, I should let the French bandit go and not defend my line, but in the heat of it all I missed the trick, and this causes me to run wide, lose us both time, and the next Frenchman in his Mustang joins the party. Even though this is a long straight to think about things, I am still in that heat of the moment frame of mind. I'm being stubborn, and that only adds to my collection of errors to this race. Already losing enough time as it is, I'll get a 1 second penalty for a corner cut. To let the Frenchman know I'm hurt about all this, I stick the move on him, and I cost him time by going up the inside. We'll get the move done, but we have no chance of a result I was expecting. So, we served a penalty and we dropped to 9th position. It does not get any easier this far back either, and we engage in some tough battles just to keep in the top 10. Coming into the Parabolica at the end of lap 7, and another Frenchman gets a run and puts me in a position that's only going to lose us time. We handled the situation better than the last time, but we've now got the Italian in the Dodge getting a good run. So this is going to be a three-way battle into turn 1 just for 9th position. Moving forward a lap, and we go past the Austrian, who is recovering from a penalty he picked up at the chicane. Lap 9 now, and we go defensive. The Dodge creeps down the outside, but we manage to hold him off and hold on to our 8th position. Lap 10 now, and another mistake. The Dodge is pitted, and I thought the German was happy to work with me, but the move up the inside gets me all out of shape, and I go off. I lose a lot more time and places, so down to 12th, and we are not even halfway through the race yet. I really don't know how much more of this I can take, to be honest. These kind of races really put you to the test. Your fault or not, you have to dig deep and recover the best way you can. We overtook Bill through the penalty zone, and just as we are finding a rhythm with some clean air in front, Bill goes for me, and I just don't understand why, and it infuriates me. I squeeze him off the track. We now have some savvy drivers behind, with ZKP in his Ferrari and Tidgley in his Subaru, showing a fine example on how to work together. Lap 13, and we take 10th place from the French driver. Once again though, an awful piece of driving from me, as I'm starting to feel the pain of the tyres as well, as they have been battered all race. Over the next 4 laps, my driving did not get much better, but we did get a bit of a break, and to be fair, Tidgley was really patient and fair. But by the time we was coming over the line for the 17th time, he had had enough, and he was making a move. Tidgley has got big problems with that Subaru though, and in a straight line, it's terrible. So he slots back in behind me, and we continue. To show another terrible piece of driving, we nearly crashed going through a Scari, and this becomes another hindrance to the Subaru behind, who gives us a tap, wanting me out of his way. On to the 18th lap now, and Tidgley gets the job done, and down to P11 we go. As we're approaching a Scari, the Honda NSX is recovering from a penalty, and the Subaru and my McLaren go past into 9th and 10th position. Not much of a chance now catching up to 8th place, and with just over 2 laps to go, we're going to slog it out in a three-way battle for 9th position. I first met Tidgney just over a year ago at the Brands Hatch circuit in some daily race action, and we had some real cracking races with some good wheel-to-wheel action. Starting the 19th lap and coming past the pit straight and into the first chicane, we carefully have to negotiate slipping into 10th position instead of losing 2 positions. All good, close stuff. It all kinda goes wrong. The curb throws me on exit, and the slight touch into the Subaru, and Tidgney goes into the gravel a little. He also picks up a penalty for this as well, and I really hope that Tidgney and everyone else who's seen this understands that this was not my intention. Looking back at the damage it had caused me to wait for him, it was just too much. And anyone else who makes a mistake towards me in that situation, I wouldn't expect them to wait the same way. So we move on to the last lap, and we're in a heated battle with the other British driver in his Honda NSX, and he's thinking about getting the move on the inside, but this puts him on the outside for the long right-hander, and the nature of the curve of the corner gives me track position, and we go across to defend. Coming out of the parabolica for the final time, we just about hold on for that 9th position, but a shocking performance on my part, and I could and should have been in a position to at least get a podium today. Even though we're disappointed with my performance, there are lots of positives to take away from the experience of this round. I hope you've enjoyed the racing action today, and I apologise for my poor quality of driving once again. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.